So, track 2 on the album is called Portion.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. Portion started as the chorus.
Okay.
God of creation, you are my portion, you will always be enough. And then this tag came quite initially in the journey of the song. You will always be enough. You will always be enough. And it felt like actually just to say it once wasn't enough. It then becomes quite a repetitive tag throughout the song. So I'd written the chorus, had this tag, but was quite stuck on the flow of the song and verses, and knew that I needed some help. So called upon my friend Josh, who is a worship pastor and also community youth worker.
Come on, dream team!
Twins. But he is an awesome worship leader, friend, songwriter, and I knew that he was the right person to bring in. So we did some co-writing and we formed in that session the verses and the bridge. And it was really cool because I would say this song is the most congregational on the album. It's one of the reasons why it sits second, because again, it's this kind of, again, declaration of you will always be enough. And where it came from was, we'll get into a lot more of this as we talk about each song, but part of the stuff that we've been going through over the last few years is we moved house from Watford to Wrexham, and then only a year and a half later we moved again from Wrexham to Birmingham, and anyone who's moved house will know it costs money. When we moved to Birmingham, Ash had a job but I didn't for about 4 months and wasn't earning, and then Ash was ill and unable to work
for about 6 months.
Yeah, for about 6 months later on that year. And so actually during that time we really decreased our funds and had no savings. We're really at a point where we were about to need to rely on other people. And Portion was written initially with that in mind, on my heart, of like, we don't really have a lot of our own money right now. We, I can't sit here and say we were running out of money in general, because that wasn't the situation that we were in. But for us, we weren't basically able to live on what we had been living with, and our house deposit had completely gone, and actually I felt in that moment that I had to choose to say, you will always be enough. And this idea of God being our portion is this inheritance that comes with faith in Jesus, that actually everything that we could ever need we get through Jesus, through faith. And actually we could have nothing and God would still be everything we could ever need. And I remember sitting and starting to write this song out of that place of, I don't know what our financial situation will go on to look like, but I do know that God is enough. And you can see through the Bible, through that history, that God has always shown up to provide in the way that he knows best to do. And we can see that. And there's this line in the song where it says, don't even know my own songs, says, "Your legacy is now my heritage." And I love that line because his legacy, the way that he has like shaped the world and given of himself and the power and the might of God, that is his legacy. That he is known as someone who is sovereign over all. And through Jesus, that legacy becomes our heritage, which is that we now get to bathe in the inheritance of knowing God and therefore being partnered with him to access everything we could ever need. And none of that is financial.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.